Everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new, my name is Lily and I'm a Chinese transracial adoptee. Every week I post videos about my experience as a transracial adoptee, so if that's something you're interested in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into the video. Hi everyone, and welcome back. I hope that you have had a good January. It is hard to believe that we have reached the end of it and we are moving forward in 2021, but here we are. And so I decided to just film this quick video because I did something that seems pretty insignificant to most people, but for me it was kind of a cool experience. So right now it is the end of November for me, Thanksgiving, Black Friday. And so I was out, and instead of doing the usual like shopping for clothes and Christmas gifts at all the really crowded stores, I decided to go to a local kitchen store by me, just the Williams-Sonoma there, because they were having some pretty good deals. And they had some mugs, such as this one. It's nice. It has like a nice gold trim or whatever you call it, and it has initials on it. And so I was looking for an L or I was looking for an S, and at the time I couldn't find an L, but I saw an F. And so I figured, well, why not? Like, I'm starting to reclaim the Faye part of my name, so I mean, I don't think it's that weird if I get a mug with an F on it, because Lily Faye, or if I wanted to get an S for my last name, that would make sense. And so, yeah, I picked it up, and this is the very first item that I have with an F on it for Faye. And I mean, I was really thinking, like, what better way to really like start reclaiming your name than getting things with it on, the letter on there. And it just kind of got me thinking about names and reclaiming names. And for a while I didn't really have much of an opinion on my Chinese name. My Chinese name was Yuan Fei Gong, and I dropped the Yuan. My parents dropped that, and I'm glad they did. Yuan was the name given to all of the babies in the Social Welfare Institute, or the orphanage, and one of the actual translations of Yuan is institution, or institute, or like college, or some sort of governing body. And so the last name not only was a symbol of me being not a product, but a ward of the state, but the actual translation can also mean institute. And so, yeah, it makes sense that I just didn't want that as part of my name. So we kept Fei Gong as my middle name. I've been going by Lily Faye more recently, as you know from this channel, as you know from my other social media accounts. I don't really go by it in real life, but it's just kind of nice having it written there so people know that's part of my name. And yeah, the Gong part I sometimes use, sometimes not, because it's one of those names that is mispronounced 99% of the time. I mean, Faye is too. A lot of people like to call it Phi. And then they pronounce my middle name or my Chinese name Phi Gang, which is just wrong. And so I just kind of got tired of correcting people, and I thought, Lily Faye flows well, so I'm just going to keep it like that for now. But I know that a lot of adoptees have really complex feelings about their name. I can only speak from the international Chinese adoptee experience, but there have seemed to be two extremes when it comes to Chinese names, and that is either you love it or you hate it because it's the name given to you by your orphanage. I'm leaning more towards the I like it. Obviously, I've been reclaiming it, and yeah, there are times when I'm like, I don't want it because it's what the orphanage gave me, and I don't really want a reminder of that. But at the same time, I think about how this is likely the first, likely the only Chinese name I have. I don't want to try to pick a Chinese name to reclaim my identity. And so I think my comfort with my name has increased as my comfort with being a transracial adoptee has increased. Like, I cannot erase any part of my story. I cannot erase being in an orphanage. You've seen my video probably about the orphanage and the dying rooms and how I don't like the term cribmates. I know that got a lot of people angry, but I just don't like people calling me cribmate. At the same time, I can't erase that part of myself. I can't erase a name that was given to me. And so to me, it's like when, even with a domestic adoptee, when a birth name is changed or erased, there's a natural want to kind of reclaim that part of yourself, a natural want to reclaim that identity. And so part of my identity is being a relinquished child that was in an orphanage, and that name is there. I mean, it also helps that I like the meanings of my name. And so Faye means to fly, and then Gong, depending on what character you use, both characters have been used in my paperwork, so it's a little iffy, but Gong can sometimes mean like strength or being strong, or it can mean like a mountain or a hill. And so together it'd be like flying over a mountain. And I think it's just, to like, personally a nice message for me to kind of just remember to, like, I don't know, it's cliche, but like aim for the sky, just keep flying strong, like keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, it's obviously a very personal experience to reclaim part of your identity, and it's a bit scary, and it can be a bit annoying when people just mispronounce it and that kind of thing. And so I get why international people will pick English names, because it's easier for everyone else. And I think a lot of adoptive parents do choose whatever name they do because they don't want their child to be made fun of and have it be mispronounced and all of that. I know there are other reasons why people change names too. I know that. But yeah, I think for names, adoptees, you feel however you want to feel about your name. It's yours. It's your identity that you're reclaiming or choosing not to reclaim, and that's fine. And for parents, I mean, yes, if you're adopting a baby or something, they can't really give you an opinion on it, but I always ask for parents to hold space for those complex emotions and to support whatever the adoptee wants to do when they're able to do it. I don't think there's anything wrong with reclaiming an identity. I'm pretty sure I've made that clear in every single one of my videos. And when adoptive parents have asked me about my opinions on changing names and such, you know, I tell them it's complex, and ultimately right now it's going to be your decision if the adoptee is not at an age where they can speak up for themselves. But if they choose to change their name when they're older, don't be surprised and be supportive, because when you're adopting a child, you're adopting a human, and they have experiences, they have an identity, they have an entire backstory, and likely information that you don't know, might never know, and part of a story that you weren't involved in. And so to reclaim that is just reclaiming part of ourselves, and to deny that of someone is wrong. It's cruel. It's not okay, because, you know, I don't think anybody would want to be prohibited from being who they are. So yeah, that's just my little Black Friday purchase. This was like the one thing I purchased for myself, and you know, it was inexpensive and just a meaningful personal gift to myself as a way to reclaim my identity. So, yep, F is for Faye. I am curious to see how many more mugs and other things I purchase for myself, because I really enjoy monogram things or things that are personalized. And now that I'm incorporating Faye into my name, there are just so many more doors open to me, and I probably am going to need another cabinet for all the mugs I have. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in more videos, you can always check out these two right here. But until then, I will see you in the next one.